Hi everyone, good morning and welcome back to our workshop. So today I have with me here Glory and she's here to just spill the tea and tell us more about fellowship. Right? You are here to spill the tea, I know that. So I'm here with my daughter ready to and now so
Okay.
nice to have you on the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank God we are having this finally. I believe there was some back and forth yesterday. So I was asking before, you guys didn't really respond. I was asking Enoch, like, is this going to be like a question and answer, or I'll just be talking?
Just tell us. Say the whole thing for us, yeah.
All right, no problem. So good morning and good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. And once again, I'm Glory, and I'm a software engineer. And last year, I had the opportunity of contributing to the core Ethereum protocol as a fellow. So during that time, I had the opportunity of contributing to TECO and BESO clients. So those are like consensus and execution layer clients of the Ethereum protocol. And how did I find myself doing that, or how did I get there? So in this session, basically what I'm just going to be covering is what the Ethereum protocol is about, how to get into the protocol, and how you can become a contributor um, in the Ethereum protocol, any of the protocols, or maybe L2, anyone you prefer, you feel like you want to contribute to. So do just more like a simple guide to get you to that point. So quickly, let me ask, how many minutes do we have for this session?
We have 30 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
All right, fine. So the first thing first, before I got into the protocol, I used to feel like it's something very difficult, not doable, and I actually like got the nudge to get into protocol development. I don't really have a slide, so I'm just going to be talking. So yeah, I got into the protocol after attending the Ethereum Frontiers event at Kenya. So during that time, I I heard a lot of the core Ethereum developers who also attended the program talking about things that they are doing, and they were talking about the protocol and all of that. So as at then, all I was just doing was just um, normal blockchain development, like in terms of like smart contracts, application level development. So, and I felt like I think I would like to learn more about the protocol beyond just writing smart contracts and all that. And that was how I decided to apply when the application came up. So the application was up, and then when I applied, part of the application, they ask you to like submit a video or a medium post or any kind of post or write up, anything you've done. It could be write up, it could be a video of you explaining a concept, like a core concept, maybe a core Ethereum concept or technical concept, so to speak. So as at then, all I had to share, because I have a YouTube channel, so I do tutorials and explain blockchain concept and things like that. So during the application, I just picked one of my videos where I was explaining what is blockchain. And the funny thing was that particular video was just like me explaining blockchain to a 5 years old. So I remember later when I was asking Mario, who is one of the facilitators and coordinators for the protocol fellowship, I was like, because I needed to like get feedback. After my application, I didn't really like getting immediately. So, but because I had this interest to contribute to the protocol, I didn't mind the fact that I wasn't selected. And good thing is, the fellowship have what they call permissionless fellowship. Like you can participate permissionlessly. So that means whether or not you are selected, you can still contribute to the protocol. So I used the opportunity to still like um, just start and see how I can learn about the protocol. So during the so after I got the feedback, so basically before I got the feedback, when I saw the mail that I wasn't selected, then I went over to the course because my course was court 5. So I went over to the GitHub repository. I checked the different projects, the different ideas, the project that fellows are expected to work on for that particular course, and then I went through them. At that point, I still wasn't really sure what I want to contribute to because there were a lot of things, a lot of new concepts, and it was as though I was just starting my blockchain career at that point, even though I'd already been doing what's called Solidity and smart contract development for like, say, let's say like 3 years or thereabouts. Yeah. So, and then I had to ask Mario, and I was like, I would like to get feedback on my application. What happened? Why was I unselected? So, and it was like, your video was too basic. I was just laughing. Why? Because this is the same me that some people will be telling me that, oh, your video is too advanced. And then I went to use that same video for protocol and they said it's too basic. So I was like, okay, no problem. So yeah, and then I started like learning. I went to good enough. They have what they call the wiki. So there is this sense protocol study that they run before the protocol fellowship. So for me, I wasn't really aware of the protocol studies. I just went straight into the fellowship. Most people go through the protocol study, which is a very good platform. I think the first time of me joining the study group was this year. Like I just enter the class once in, like just I just like participated somehow. So but that was like my first time, but most of the time I notice most people like go through the protocol study before going into the fellowship proper. So it's not like it's mandatory for you to go through the protocol study group, but it's very good, especially for beginners if you're just starting out. So when I say beginners, not to trick anybody, yeah, because most time we hear things like, "Oh, just come the way you are. You don't have to be very technical. You don't have to, you know." It's not like that for protocol development. Let me just be plain here. So I would also like to say that protocol development, not to scare anybody, it's not for the weak. It's for people that are really like serious about core development because we call it protocol. So this is not application level. This is you contributing to the core protocol itself that powers every other applications and every other L tools that are built on top of that particular protocol. So you can imagine the technicality and everything that's going to be involved in it. So it actually like requires a lot of studying, like a lot of studying. Like I spent a lot of time studying. So the protocol lasts, the fellowship lasts for um is it 6 months or so, or five, something like that. So basically, the first month was for more like you trying to familiarize yourself with what the fellowship is about. So that first month for me, I was using it to study. So I was doing a lot of studying, going through the protocol wiki, going through past videos on the wiki study group, and then also going through the YouTube channel, checking out past cohort videos and all that. So that was what I was doing mostly. I was learning and learning. So what the advice I usually give to people is if you really want to like contribute to the core Ethereum protocol, don't wait till when you start seeing the application and start maybe they start announcing application or the application is open. That's not when you start. So basically, if it's something you are looking to do, I think the best time to start is now. So better your chances of getting selected are going to be much higher than that's when you start contributing now than when you wait the say next year because cohort 6 is currently ongoing. So when you wait the next year and say, okay, let me wait till like I think February or thereabouts when the application will be up because cohort normally start around June. So they started last month. no, last 2 months. This August. So it started last 2 months. So it usually start around June. So that means application should be out like around April or thereabouts. So for those people that want to like go into core protocol development, things that you should take note of, you need to be, if you are a developer, you need to be a good developer. Like you need to be technically sound. And then if you are a researcher, also you need to be good at what you do, have things to show, because part of the applications, the application require that you show your past contributions. So not just any other contribution, but more like technical open source contributions that you have made before, that you have done before. So you have to like show that. And if you're not able to do that, the chance of you getting selected might be very slim. But that notwithstanding, like I said earlier, the fellowship is open to everybody, even as this one that is ongoing right now. If anybody wants to join, they are still free to join. The only difference between a permissionless fellow and a permission fellow is that they receive a stipend. So if you are accepted into the program as a permission fellow, you get a stipend for the period of the fellowship program, and you also have the opportunity to attend HCC and DEF Connect or DEF Con, depending on the year that they are having it. So for like this year, those people that were selected to participate in the fellowship will also be um, supported or sponsored to travel for DEF Connect. So yeah, those are some of the benefits that comes with contributing to the protocol. You get a stipend, you get opportunity to travel, and then for those that were not also selected, you also get opportunity to travel. Like if you contribute meaningfully. So because during my course, like I said initially, I wasn't selected immediately, but as time went on, almost towards the end of the fellowship program, I got a mail from Mario and Josh saying they have acknowledged my contributions and all of that. And then I am now permissioned, even though the program was almost ending. And then, so that also gave me the opportunity to also attend DEF CON last year. So yeah, in other words, anywhere you are on this journey, as long as you're serious, as long as you are contributing meaningfully to the protocol, there's always the likelihood of you getting selected, also receiving a stipend, or also getting an opportunity to attend the Ethereum programs. And then apart from that, you get a lot of experience working or contributing to open source projects, and also you have access to core Ethereum developers or the team. You can reach out to any of them. Like during my time when I was contributing to Teco and Besu, I had access to some core teams from Teco and Besu clients. Even up to today, I can still reach out to them anytime. So those are some of like the benefits you get from being a fellow or from participating in the program. And so just like I said, this is more like how do I put this? Should I say an advice or something? So, but anyhow, it is. So, this is something you should be aware of. Something I didn't know before I started, and I think it's be very good for you if you adhere to it. So, what is that? So, you remember I mentioned that I didn't really know about the study group. So, it will be good if you participate in the study group. It's going to help you a lot because honestly, I struggled a lot during the fellowship, and you know, when you're in a room full of smart people, even though you know you are smart, somehow you start feeling like you are the dullest in the room. So there are times where I actually felt that way during the fellowship because the people I was having this session with, or the other fellows, they were people that were like kind of like far ahead of me, especially because it's something that they have been doing. And most of them have been contributing to Ethereum protocol before, but they just joined the fellowship. So, and me, I just jumped in from being a smart contract developer that I've never contributed to the protocol, like the core protocol before, and I did not even attend the protocol study. So it was very challenging. Deciding what project to work on was another challenge, and trying to assimilate and understand the protocol, what is consensus, what is execution layer, and so many other things, running nodes and stuff like that. It was kind of confusing, but it took a while. But because I was relentless, I just kept on studying and asking questions where I wasn't clear about. And that was how I was able to like skate through. So just to recap, is going to be very good and helpful for you if you take out the time to start now to contribute. Just like go to the wiki, the study group wiki. You don't even have to wait till next year. You can just start studying the wiki because it takes a lot of time to study that wiki and really understand it before you can even start talking about contributing or start understanding EIPs or start, yeah, or maybe working with spec, like making contribution based on spec and all of that. So for you to get to that point where you understand those things, it's going to take a while. So and then you might not have all that time because it's going to look as if things are rushed, even though it's not like things are really rushed. But then say the protocol fellowship is like 5 months or thereabouts, you have like 1 month to just familiarize yourself with the protocol if you are not already familiar with it, and then the other 4 months is for projects. So you have to decide, you have to write a proposal, pick a project you want to work on, maybe from the list of projects that were dropped on the GitHub repo for that course. So you pick a project from there, or if you have your own project idea, you can write it as your proposal and then start working on that project. So the way the fellowship works, every week, yeah, so every week we have, I think we meet like 2 times in a week. Yes. So on Mondays, I usually like stand up where we give updates on what we are working on. And then like on Tuesdays are like time where they invite a guest, maybe a core developer from the Ethereum protocol or from the client team to come and talk to the fellows to share their experience, and even for from some past fellows that have finished and probably had the opportunity of working with any of the client team after the fellowship. So those people become guests, and then they tend to like share their experience and answer any questions that we might have, especially if some of the fellows are probably working on any project that relates to the project that they are also working on. So those are like the opportunities to be able to like do that, to ask those questions. So to summarize, because I think I'm already approaching the 30 minutes. Yeah, so to summarize everything I've said, I don't know. I'm seeing 18 minutes on the live, and on my time, I'm seeing 11:30. So I don't know which one to follow. Okay. So look, if you are here, you can let me know how many more minutes I have, so that I know how to manage it.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
So I mean, minutes do
yeah,
I
this
have?
is okay. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are like 80 minutes into the line. But it's like surprise to that. Then I will just have to two questions that we have here. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Let me try and wrap up so that you can
You
ask
get that?
questions. Although your network is kind of, I don't know. I can't really hear you clearly. So yeah, but I hope everybody can hear me clearly, right? Okay, so to summarize, like I was trying to say, first off, just know where you if you are, like I said, if you are interested in contributing to the protocol, the best time to start is now. It's not next year, it's now. So all you do is to go check out the Ethereum documentation. There's a lot of explanations there. Almost everything you need are on the Ethereum, even the main Ethereum website. You see it on their documentation. You see a lot of explanations there from different areas of the protocol. And then the Ethereum protocol wiki study group is a very, very good place to start. And then you can once you check the wiki, I think you get the Discord handle to join the protocol study group community on Discord, and then you can start contributing and asking questions right there on Discord. Because if this is something you want to do, one of the confusions you might have that I had too was deciding, because there are a lot of things and sometimes you get overwhelmed, like which one am I even going to focus on? Should I focus on EL or CL? So EL is a execution layer, and then CL is consensus layer. So you start asking yourself, which areas of the protocol do I really want to focus on? And even when you're talking about EL or CL, there are still many other things inside. So you also need to like decide which part of it. And you wouldn't know all of this if you don't start now to prepare yourself ahead. And doing that helps you to stand a better chance. So imagine you don't currently have a portfolio of you contributing to the core Ethereum protocol before now. So if you start now to contribute, that means you are already preparing yourself and already familiarizing yourself with the protocol. And at the same time, it helps you to also build portfolio in such a way that when you are not applying and they say we need links to some of the contributions, the open source contributions that you have done before, especially core protocol level contributions, you can now have something to show, because these things are not easy. Sometimes, I remember when I started, my very first PR took a while, almost a month, for it to be merged on the Beso client. So those things take time. So imagine um, I knew if I had all of these things in on ground, like this background knowledge or all this information I'm sharing with you right now, if I had them earlier, I'm sure that maybe on my initial application, I probably would have been accepted. So, but nevertheless, that really doesn't really matter right now, because at the end of the day, I was still accepted into the program. So I'm just saying so that you can prepare yourself ahead and avoid those struggles that I went through trying to understand the protocol, and at the same time trying to give reports on my project, because at some point I was like feeling somehow a lot of people were already sure what they want to do, they were already ahead, like during stand up they're already saying I've done this, I've done that, this is what I want to do next, and me, I'm still trying to like find my way around what do I really want to contribute to. So that's like another challenge. So to get to be able to avoid that, it comes with familiarizing yourself with the protocol early enough, and then getting your hands dirty by contributing, making PROs. Say you do the first PROs are usually like the hardest. So you do the first one. So it's not like contributing to the Ethereum protocol was my first time contributing to open source. No, I actually participated in an outreach program before where I contributed to Wikimedia, but on the protocol level, when it comes to blockchain development, that was like my first. And so it was a bit challenging because it's a lot understanding the protocol itself. So it's much more easier to be a smart contract developer actually than to be a protocol developer. So, but everything takes time and consistency and practice. So I think I probably withdraw the curtain here. So I think I still have like 7 minutes. So if there's any question, or probably there might be something I omitted or missed out, so if you will help me if you ask me those questions so that I can like maybe throw more light or explain.
Okay. Thank you so much, Glory. I think you really spilled the whole tea. Like you're not holding back anything, and that's so amazing. So I just want to like recap on the application window for people that are interested. I think you mentioned that, but probably we can just make emphasis on that. When does it open? What's the duration of the fellowship? So that it's like okay, well, I want to prepare for this window, right, and stuff like that. So I think if you can recap on that, that would make sense. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So the fellowship application are usually up like around April. Yeah, I think around April. Yes, around April, and then the fellowship itself begins in June. So they are currently on the cohort 6 right now. Cohort 6 is currently ongoing. So Applications are April, fellowship begins in June most time. And then for the study group, I think that opens up from our study group. Did they really apply? I can't really remember if you have to apply, but if study group is open as well, it's permissionless, so anybody can participate in it. So I'm not quite sure if you have to apply for that. And then so for that, it usually comes up from around February to March or April, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just like few weeks after the study group. That's when um, the main protocol program begins. So, but like I said earlier, it's not compulsory that you participate in the study group before you do the fellowship, but it's going to be very helpful for you, relieve you of that stress or that pressure when you're in the fellowship. So yes, that's going to be helpful too. And before I forget, the Women in Ethereum Protocol Fellowship is currently the courts. I mean, the application is currently ongoing. I saw their posts recently. So for women in the house that are also interested in protocol contributions and want to start from there, that is also very good. So the Women in Ethereum Protocol Fellowship is almost similar to what they do in the study group, and also similar, kind of similar to the main fellowship, but not as strenuous as the main fellowship. So, but then is a good place to start, because I always said, like when I was doing a review, when you were like asking me what was it like for me at the fellowship, at the end of the fellowship program, I was like, if I had known about the study group and the Women in Ethereum Protocol, things might be a lot easier for me. But since I didn't know until I was already in the fellowship when I found out about the Women in Ethereum Protocol Fellowship. So I was just participating in both of them simultaneously. So, but then if you are like now, I think so for the Women in Ethereum Protocol Fellowship, they are still going to do it like this year. They've done one before early this year. So I think maybe this might be the second or the last for the year. So they are still going to have another one this year. So I don't know how long that application will be up, but I started seeing the post yesterday or so. So for any woman in the house who is also interested in protocol development, I think that would be like a good starting place, more like another study group of women and supporting women kind of.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that information. So I don't know, probably after the call, you can help us with the link to this, to the application and all, then we can share it in the community and all. So
Yeah, sure.
if that's fine.
Sure, I can do that. Yeah, no problem. I can do that.
Okay, so I think that's the main question that comes up. So thank you so much, Glory. It's really nice having you here and you letting us know about the Ethereum Fellowship and how to like contribute and all. So yeah, so if there's any other question in the community, we will try to get that across to you, or probably even have like a kind of in-house kind of Q&A question if a lot of people are having questions on that. So yeah, it's really nice to have you here. Thank you so much. I don't know if you
All
have
right,
any
thank
other
you
thing to
very
say.
much. Well,
Yeah.
not so much to say, but just keep building and keep contributing as much as you can.
Yeah. Keep building. Keep building. Okay. Thank you so much. And do have a wonderful day.
And you too. Thank you, Grace.